Welcome on Travis Code channel. In this tutorial we will create drop-down navigation with HTML and CSS. It's a very popular task and every developer should know how to do it very easy. So now on the screen you see the final version, what we will have after doing this task. For About Me, for example, we have drop-down section with the sub-navigation for feedback, for example, and the same for contacts with the same navigation but for on the left side. So it's pretty easy to do with HTML and CSS. So let's start and create such awesome submenu and drop-down menu navigation. To create drop-down menu with HTML and CSS, we need to start from the beginning. So let's create index.html file and styles CSS file. Also, I have one file, it's JPEG for background, we will use it. But now, in HTML file, let's create our page. It's a basic page. What do we need? In the header, we need create navigation, and inside we will use unordered list with the items of our menu. So to do it, we need create navigation. Inside we will unordered list with li. We will have 5 of them, and we will have anchor inside. And now we can create href will be empty, but body anchor should be some text. So the first one will be home, the next one about me, one about you, blog, and for example contacts. Now we can save. Also we need include styles, style CSS, it will be styles, we have it. So and now let's run our file. Let's start debugging and it will open in Chrome. Now we have our page and we will see what we are doing. The next one, let's customize our styles. We will add some class. It will be main navigation, and inside let's create for main navigation, it will be list style none. For all li inside, let's add it will be display block, display inline block. We won't move it in one line. Let's save it and check. Now as you see, it's in one line. The next we need customize links and add some background. We can add background. Let's take a look. And we see we have what we need, but we have a lot of margins. To remove all these margins, by default, browser sets a lot of default margins and buttons and a lot of other styles. To remove it, we will use some reset CSS. On GitHub, I have found this reset CSS file. We can use it. So link will be in the description as well. So let's create a new file. Let's click create new file. We will call reset CSS. Then we need copy these styles and include it to our page. And now as you see, we don't have these margins. The next one, let's go to customize links. What we need padding, for example this one. Also we need color And text decoration, none, we do not need this underline. So now is better, but we don't see these paddings. To do these paddings, let's change display block, and one more, when we hover on this item we want to do it white. So now, as you see, we have a great menu. But one more thing, let's change font and add something great. So we will use Google Web Fonts. And we need Roboto. We can search for it or choose from the menu that we have. Let's choose, for example, this one. We need embedded and copy link. So let's copy this link to our HTML file. And for body, we will add HTML body, we will add font family. So now all items will have this style, this font. Let's reset, and now it's better. Menu looks great. The next one, let's add background, just to see how it looks in general. To do it, we will, under the header, let's add div. We need background, we will use image we have. We have this image. The next, it will be in the center, and we don't want to repeat it, don't repeat. The next, let's add width, it will be 100 pixels, and height, it will be 100 window height. Now it will take the whole size. Background URL. Okay, we see this image. It looks great. The next part is creating drop-down menu for these items. To do it, what we need? For example, inside About Me, we will add a drop-down section. So how it looks? Drop-down is another unordered list with, for example, we have 5 items, and inside we have links as well. Let's click Tab, and we have this menu. So About Me, let's add, for example, portfolio, clients, feedbacks, resume, and social media, for example. Now, as you see, HTML markup is broken. To fix it, we will go again to styles and the most important part. So under Lee, we have the next children. On ordered list, it should be, first of all, display none. We want to hide it, and we want position relative, even absolute. And for parent, position will be relative. The next one, when we hover link, we need to show this list. And now let's check. Almost what we need, but inside, let's customize our Lee. First of all, we need fix misprint. And now it looks better. We have menu. Now let's customize this menu. Inside we need let's add the same background. And just a few additional items. First of all, we need a border bottom 1 pixel. Not completely white. And for the first item, let's add border top. And now, as you see, we have menu, but let's do some width, and we need to change minimum width, and now it looks better, but we can even do something smaller. So now it looks great, and when we hover it's okay, but we have some additional padding or margin. To find out it, let's inspect this element, and for our Lee, let's simulate hover effect. Now it's hovered, and we can see that this wool, it has some margin. Let's check it. Or padding. So let's remove this padding. For this wool, let's remove padding. And now this menu looks great. So as you see, we created drop-down HTML menu with CSS in only 40 lines approximately. So it was pretty easy part, and let's do something more. Let's add sub drop-down menu for some item. To do it, let's go to, for example, I want to feedback, and inside we will create the same unordered list with 3 items, and inside we will have links. So feedbacks, positive, negative, and from clients, for example, and we want to see this data when we will hover on feedback. So let's do it again. We have Lee, inside, if we have the next child will be list, we want display none for it, and position absolute as well. When we hover on parent Lee, we need display block to show it, position just display block, position we will clarify here. So we need to move it right 0 to show it on the right side. Let's check. Now we see that feedback is not where we need. Let's debug this navigation in our menu. So again, For this we will add hover effect, and for resume or feedback also we need to simulate hover effect, and we will see that this UL is somewhere behind. So let's change it. Let's add position absolute, parent has position relative, so right should be or not right, let's left 0, let's put left 100%. Also we want margin left 1 pixel just to move it, and top should be 0 or 1 pixel, minus 1 pixel, and now as you see it will be on the same height. So let's copy these styles and put it for this list. Let's reload our page. So what we have about, we have feedback, and when we hover on feedback we see all our items and we can choose any of them. So it was pretty easy. And now how we can copy this behavior. For example, let's again open our HTML file, and for example we want the same behavior for some other menu item. We can copy, and inside blog or contacts section let's just copy and paste this section. Let's update. So we have it for about me, and the same we have for feedbacks, for example. But also as you see it's out of the site, so we can move it. For example, for contacts, let's add class name, it will be contact sub menu, and inside navigation we will clarify that this UL with an ordered list with this class, it should has left 0, for example. Let's check contacts, feedback. Now let's check where it should be placed. Now let's customize our feedback. So let's check, we have we removed class. Let's add contact sub, should be sub, contact sub menu. Let's save it. We need to put minus 100%, and now let's reload. And as you see it's on the left side. Now let's check this menu. Inspect, we need to add let's check hover. For this one hover, and we see that it has some issues. So to fix it, let's update a bit. So how we can do it? Another approach, when we know width of this item, we can put, for example, left minus 21 pixel because of its 200 pixels. So we will put 201 pixels left. Also for this the items we need put display block for all of them, and then they will be in one row. Yes. $2,202, and now it will look better. Let's change it. So let's save and check what we have in full size. So as you see, we implemented our menu with drop down, even sub drop down menu, and it works awesome with hover effects. So you can find this source code on GitHub, link will be under the video in the description, and if you have any comments or questions, leave a comment and I will help you to solve all your problems. Thank you for watching, subscribe to my channel, and soon you will get more interesting tutorials about HTML and CSS.